Be loyal to the paycheck. I was like, Coach, what you mean? He said, you graduated from Clemson. Big Will graduated from Benedict in Columbia. He said, yeah, you loyal to your alma mater. You want to see your alma mater do great things. But your alma mater ain't paying you right now.
Yeah, that's
Middle
real.
Tennessee is. So everything you do should be in the best interest of Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Whether that's, you know what I'm saying, when you doing your commentary with sports networks, whether you doing your speaking engagements. Right now when I'm at FAM, you know, you gotta be loyal to who's paying the bills.
What up, everybody? It's your boy JK. Today is Thursday, so you already know what it is. It's Tackle Thursday, live with JK. And today I got a special guest, and my special guest for today hails from Orangeburg, South Carolina. I've been knowing him since I was in college. He was decking us out with the nice Nike gear. Part of the reason I committed to MTSU. And if you are a FAMU supporter of the football team, then you know him as the assistant athletic director of football operations. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome my fraternity brother, root to the gut bros, Troy Johnson. What's up, man? How you doing, dog?
Man, I'm good, man. I appreciate that intro, dog. That was live right there.
Hey, I had somebody, no problem. I had somebody write to me on IG the other day asking me about the intros, and I was like, look, man, anytime somebody come on, like, you know, accept to come on the show, I was like, I want to make sure they know I appreciate them. They know that they special, you get what I'm saying? And so anybody that come on, man, I try to make sure, you know, I do my research, and I just want you to know that you appreciate it. No problem, man. But how you been, man? How the wife, kids, how the fam doing?
Man, everybody good, man. Everybody good. Just blessed beyond measures, man. Just to be able to just, you know, have breath and go out and do the things that we love to do, man, is a major is a major deal, man. I can't complain at all, man. If I did, I'd be lying to you, JK, for real.
Yeah.
Man. It's been an exciting journey, man. It's been a blessing. Been a blessing, dog.
Nah, definitely, man. I mean, just, you know, watching you from afar. I mean, sure, I met you, I was, 18? And, you know what I'm saying? So seeing you in your career and then just seeing you grow, man, kids, married, everything like that, man. So it's definitely, you know what I'm saying, a blessing, man, to be able to see that. And like I shared when I had Coach Simmons on, but boy, you gave me confirmation about my wife, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the first date, we went on our first, well, not one of our first dates, but it was early in our relationship. We took, you know what I'm saying, came to the basketball game, and I seen you, you know, through the one, like, what up, Troy? Then the next day, like, hey, look like you got a winner, dog, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't never forget that, bruh. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just a, you know, funny story I keep in. But yeah, Troy, man. So once again, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, dog. And I want to allow you, I know I introduced you a little bit, but I want to allow you to introduce yourself to the people that's watching, and the people that'll see this on replay or listen to this on replay, man. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and a little bit like about, you know, yourself and what you do.
Man, no doubt. So, like you said in the intro, man, I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina. A small town with a big heart, you know what I mean? Big city atmosphere in our minds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Growing up in an atmosphere like that, you thought you was in the big city, you know what I mean? But Orangeburg, born and raised, man, proud of it. 803 stand up, you know, all my Orangeburg people, y'all tap in, man. Get on here, man. Let's do this. But went to Orangeburg Wilkinson High School right there in Orangeburg, man. Played football growing up, played football through high school, played basketball growing up, you know, ran a little track, did all that. And just because of the nature, you know what I'm saying, I came to an agreement with myself probably midway through my senior year that, dog, I need to do something else, man. Football wasn't going to be for me on the college level, you know what I mean? And in 90, probably JK, in 98, somewhere around in there, I met a guy in the cafeteria at our high school. He was coming to recruit, you know what I'm saying? Had on some jeans and some stick-ins and a Clemson polo.
Yeah.
You know, and tapped in with the great Rick Stockstill back in like 98. You know what I'm saying? Met him for the first time and and he would come by the school recruiting, and I, say what's up. Never knew, what could come from it, right? And
Yeah.
then as a high school senior, one of my best friends in life, Ryan Hemby, he signed with Clemson to play defensive back. And so Coach Stock came back to the school, was like, yo, I got Hemby, I got Woody up there, I got Jackie up there. He had recruited and signed somebody from our high school every year I was in high school.
Yeah.
And so he said, man, we have an opportunity in the equipment room. You can come in, you can work in the equipment room, you can eventually end up getting a full ride if you do everything the right way. And it was really a no-brainer, right? So the funny thing about it was I got accepted to FAMU, which was my first choice, right? I wanted to go to FAM straight out of high school. I had a great sport management program. I wanted to go to FAM. I had a homeboy that was going to Florida State. I had a cousin that was at Bay Cinch, right? Got accepted to FAM on like Tuesday. Thursday, I get the acceptance letter from Clemson, and I'm like, which way I go, right?
Yeah.
Mom Dukes was like, you going where the money at? Fam ain't said nothing about no money yet.
Gotta go.
Talking about the money. We going
Can't
to
mess up free.
So, yeah. So, she was sold on Coach Stock. Coach Stock did a great job on her, like he did on everybody's parents when they get around them. And ended up at Clemson, man, working for Alfonso Smith in the equipment room. I was a student manager my entire 4 years there, worked with the wide receivers. So I got a chance to work with Coach Stock hands-on for 3 years. And then Coach left us and became the offensive coordinator at East Carolina. And Coach Bowden hired Dabo Sweeney to coach wide receivers. So my last year, I worked for Dabo as a student manager. But it was, man, I'm telling you, it was great. I developed some really, really good friendships, some lifelong friendships that has helped me throughout my career. And one of them being Coach Simmons, who was our quarterback there. And, we tapped in with each other probably in August, September of 2000, and we've been rocking ever since, right? So that kind of helped me get to where I am right now, too. So just come from humble beginnings, man, humble start. Try to stay that way throughout life and throughout my career, man. And I think it has helped me get to the point where I am today.
Nah, for sure. This is why I love, like, doing this, like having guests on, man, because I don't have, guests on every week. But I love learning about the backstory. You know what I'm saying? Because I meet Troy, right? I'm a freshman. I just see Troy, equipment manager, he over equipment at MT, right? I never, until I started doing research, I didn't even know he was from South Carolina, right? So I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, he went to Clemson. I'm like, oh, that's what, you know what I'm saying? The ties and the connections. And so before because I definitely want to really tap into that too, man, as we go. You said you was in the lunchroom. You had already made up in your mind, I'm not going to play football. But you see a football recruit and you go and build a rapport, a relationship with them, even though you knew playing, you was like, I ain't going to play. What? The reason why I'm asking this is because, man, this podcast, I'm really niching it down to focusing on young adults, right? And young adults that are in the process of building their foundations of their life, right? And it could be, relational, career-wise. And so in this case, I'm talking about the young adult that's getting ready to go from high school to college, or maybe college to transition into a career. And they making this transition, but you in your mind said, hey, I'm going to go talk to Coach. What made you go and have a conversation with Coach Stockstill, even though he was a football coach and you knew you wasn't going to play football?
Man, one, it was just him and his persona, how he carried himself, right? Everybody that has any dealings with Coach knows, he's probably one of the most swaggiest coaches that I know, right? Just
on the low, on the low too.
Yeah, he ain't gonna go over the top with it, but he's just gonna stay right there in his box. Yeah. And to be perfectly honest with you, for a white man to be as comfortable as he was to stand in our cafeteria, where my high school was 98% black, right? To stand in our cafeteria by himself, our coach wasn't around him, it was just him. He was just on the wall vibing, right? For him to be that comfortable in that space made me say, hey, man, there's something about this dude. Like, I need to meet him. You know what I mean? And so I just walked up to him, told him who I was. I played ball. He was like, whoop, whoop. I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna come see you. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So through the recruiting process of all the other guys at the school, you know, he would always stop by and say, "What's up?" You know. And so I'll never forget, man. We played a game our senior year, and our quarterback went down, right? And so the backup was Hemby's younger brother, right? It was Ryan Hemby's younger brother, Russell, and Russell was probably a freshman at the time. So Russell got in, and we was in the red zone, and I happened to be in like the snap before when our quarterback got hurt. So I'm still in. Personnel didn't change. I'm still in. So, you know, we huddled up because the quarterback's down or whatever. Russell comes in, and Russell's eyes are big. Like, they like, you know, and I spent many a nights at their house eating from their table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Hemby family for always looking out, taking care of me. But Russell came in, dog, and I'm talking about Russell was just, he was in some other land. Right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of got him. Yeah, I kind of got him like, hey, bro, calm down, dog. It's just football, man. That's all it is, right? Coach probably gonna probably run a running play right here. So all you got to do is just make sure you get the snap and hand it off. You ain't gonna have to throw it or nothing. So, you know, we kind of tapped in right there, and then get out. You know, we lined up, and then pre-snap, Russell kind of gives me a look, you know, like he's about to check off something, you know, and I kind of wave him off. So Coach Stock always joked about it, like, yeah, I saw you over there giving that signal, trying to run that slant.
Yeah.
Russell went ahead and handed the ball off, you know?
Yeah.
So just the fact of him being at the game, watching, you know what I'm saying, different stuff like that, I felt like he was somebody that I could trust my future with.
Yeah.
So I wanted to build that relationship and be able to, even if I didn't go to Clemson, still be able to have him as a resource that I could tap into from time to time. And lo and behold, you know, never knew that he would eventually become a head coach. You know what I'm saying? And he did, and the rest is history.
Man, the rest is history for real. Salute to Coach Stock, man, because, you know, it's just crazy because I'm still, and if you want to say, eating or benefiting from that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Even being able to call the games now. Like, I'm like, Coach, I know I ain't talked to you. I know we ain't talk about this. I ain't asked you about it, but I know you had to sign off on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, the fact that you did that, you didn't have to do that, Coach. And I think, man, so many times we are just focused on people we think that could help us, and we neglect like other people, right? People, especially you looking at a Caucasian man, a white man in your school. Most people think about it. In an all-black school, we like, man, I ain't talking to him. But I think at the same time, that's like that maturity, right? Understanding that everybody that look a certain way ain't a certain way, right? And vice versa. And understanding that some of our biggest blessings in life came from people that didn't look like us. And the power of just being open-minded that lets you know, like, man, there are some good black people, there are some good white people. There's black people that may not be good for you, that white people that may not be good for you. So just understanding that it's people more so than color, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so, most definitely. So you say you played multiple sports, which I didn't know, right? That's what I'm saying. I be learning. So multiple sports. What would you say your favorite sport was growing up, though?
Man, growing up, my favorite sport was basketball, man.
Crazy. Okay, then it had to jump.
It was basketball, man. I started off playing point guard through rec ball and all of that.
Yeah.
And, my mom worked at South Carolina State, still worked there to this day. And so my school was actually on campus. So I went to the laboratory school on South Carolina State's campus. So after school, a lot of times I would stay on campus because my mom worked in the library, so it was right across the street from our school. And a friend of mine, Joy Alexander, who was a year older than me, her dad was the head coach at South Carolina State. He was the head basketball coach. So while I'm at the office with my mom, you know, late nights or whatever, I would, come on, mate, don't do it. Dog.
Hey, you see that?
You see him, right? You see him, right?
Shout out to that boy Larry too, doing his thing, and
he is, man. I'm proud of him.
And we'll get. Hopefully I'm able to get into that, but you know what I'm saying. Just seeing you, bro, seeing something in Larry, the tutelage, bro, and to see that, pass that on, and see what Larry doing, man. So salute to both of y'all. But
man, that's my guy, man. I'm proud of what he's doing over there. I still need my care package to start the season off though, because I know you already got some stuff in.
Hey, I'm trying to get a cap. Hey, Larry, when you do that, go ahead and you know, we exchanged number last year. Go ahead and send me a care package, dog, so I can look right when I'm calling the games this year, dog.
Larry, stop playing, man. Me and JK need our care package, man. You want to comment on the live? We need our care package, man.
I need it. I need to get decked out, man. But so you say you hoop. So that was your favorite sport?
Yeah, it was, man. I spent a lot of time in the gym with Coach Side and his teams, and I became a ball boy for them and just kind of, playing rec ball and all that type stuff, man. And I met Tommy Brown, who was the head football coach at our high school. And he dropped some stuff on me, and he said, man, I know you play basketball. I know you love it. I know you do a lot with it. Our rec team was just coming off of state championship run in the All-Stars and all that type stuff. He said, man, in Orangeburg, not too many basketball players go to college. So he was like, man, if you want an opportunity to go to college for free, you might need to come on and get in this weight room with me and tap into this football. So football was always there. It's not like I didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt like basketball was, that was it. So I finally took Coach Brown up on his word and went to the weight room, man, and start working out and start playing football. You start getting a little definition in your arms, and what I'm saying? You can stick your finger underneath your pec muscle a little bit. You're like, man, this might change a little bit. So it kind of, basketball kind of dwindled away, and then I was tapped in on football the rest of the way, man.
Yeah. Now, you've been in athletics, man, college athletics for a long time, right? We're going to get into that. But what do you believe about your childhood growing up in sports? Man, you rich, like entrenched in HBCU, college athletics. Like you say, your mom still work at South Carolina State. So you enriched in this. What do you believe about your childhood prepared you for all the roles that you had, and specifically to be the assistant AD football operations right now at FAMU?
Man, that's a great question. It's a really good question. And I think, first off, man, the fact that I was able to grow up in a historic environment like in South Carolina State and be around the greats that paved the way throughout there, right, from a football standpoint, like the Willie Jeffries of the world, you know what I'm saying? Coach Jay was the first African-American to ever coach at a Division I institution on the football side, right? So to be in that environment and see what game day looked like on a Saturday growing up, you know what I mean? Hear the bands, the smell of fish being fried, the ribs on the grill from all the tailgaters and all of that. And to walk into a place and see a bunch of people that looked like me that wasn't causing any ruckus, it wasn't no violence, it wasn't nothing crazy. It let me know early on that there's life outside of this, right? There's life outside of Orangeburg. And it just continued to grow. And once I got to high school, and Coach Brown did a really good job of exposing us to different college environments and, all of that type stuff, man. And he took us to games, at Clemson and at North Carolina and University of South Carolina. Like, we went all over the place. And then we went on college campuses during the summer. Like, we went to 7-on-7 tournaments at Georgia Tech and, small school Presbyterian right there. So it gave me an opportunity to see things from a different perspective. And it opened my lens to say, hey, man, like, there's multiple ways that you can get an education once you leave Orangeburg, but you got to be willing to do it. Right? That was one of the things that I think helped prepare me, was just my upbringing. And then two, man, and this gonna sound crazy, but you said I've been enriched in the HBCU culture, right? What's helped me be able to navigate my ways through that is being enriched in the HBCU culture from an early age. Understanding, what that looked like. Understanding what that space looked like. Funny thing, man, when I got to college, I didn't see all of the stories that my family talked about, right? Because all of my family that went to HBCU, South Carolina State, for example, would always talk about standing in the long line, to get their financial aid process, or going to the gym, standing in that long line to get a schedule and all that. So in my mind, that's what college is, right? And I get to Clemson, and we ain't got to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if class start on the 21st on a Wednesday, by the 23rd, we in line getting our refund check, or it's already gonna hit our bank account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got cousins, I got friends and family and everybody that go to HBCUs, and they like, hey, dog, y'all got your refund check already? Man, we probably won't get ours like late September, October. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So dealing with HBCUs at an early age set me up to deal with HBCUs long term, because I knew what to expect. Now, granted, we have grown tremendously. When I say we, I mean the HBCU culture, right? We have
Yeah.
grown tremendously from, August of 2000 when I got to Clemson to, let's just say July, because tomorrow's the first, July 2022, right? So it's
Yeah.
been tremendous growth, but the ability to just be around our people and see what that looked like from a sports perspective is really what got me to the point where I am now, man, where I'm able to just evolve in this space, I guess is the right
Yeah.
word, right?
Nah,
To be in this environment, in the HBCU world.
nah, it's crazy, man, because we understand that God know what He doing, right? And our situations, when even when we might not understand it at that time, that it's preparing us for down the road. You know what I'm saying? And so, just listening to how entrenched you were in as a kid, and you seeing these things and you hearing these stories, but not knowing these stories really preparing you to work in these environments, so you know what to expect, you know how to
Yeah.
overcome. And like you said, man, because going to PWIMT, I appreciate, I love, what I'm saying, the opportunity that I was given from MTSU, but my experience at TSU, just the culture being at Tennessee State was like, bro, I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I was there for just graduate school, it was different. It hit different being around, you know what I'm saying, people that look like me.
Yeah.
And it's so different from what the media says, as far as like, we already know that we excellent. You know what I mean? Just the culture, the race, we already know that. But to be around like-minded people, people that's going and doing amazing things is a huge blessing. And like you say, to see HBCUs come so far, and what they doing and what y'all doing, and you and Coach Simmons and all y'all doing, and Dion doing, and Hugh Jackson and Eddie George, just
Yeah.
bringing it back to prominence where it once was. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
Most,
it is,
you know what I'm saying, it's a beautiful thing. So you got to Clemson through relationship, right?
Yep.
Talking to Coach got there. So now you at this big time school. You just talked about it's a little different from what you was thought, in your mind. So how was that working as an equipment manager, student equipment manager at Clemson, being at a big time program, watching big time college football, players going to the NFL left and right?
Yeah.
How was that being 18, 19 years old, man, seeing that?
Man, it was different. I'm not even gonna lie, JK. It was a different deal because they did things from a football standpoint a lot different than what I was used to and what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we, and I'm gonna date myself when I say this because a lot of people that's fans of college football right now, they don't know about this. But when I got there, we had 2 camps within one. So we had a freshman camp for 2 days. So the freshmen got a chance to practice 4 times, just them by themselves.
Okay.
Right? So however many freshmen came in that class, you had a freshman camp.
Yeah.
You had 2 days with just the freshmen, and then you would transition into the regular training camp when the freshmen practice now with the varsity guys.
Yeah.
And we was able to have 2 days back then. So, you practice at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you take a break for lunch, get a little nap in and come back and you back on the field probably 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? 25, 26 periods in that South Carolina sun, man, was desperately it was life changing.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I can say was when I walked out there, man, at 5'5", I think I was 145 pounds back then, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody was just so daggone big, man. Like I worked with the wide receivers, and we had Rod Gardner, who ended up being a first-round draft pick that year, the Redskins.
Yeah.
Rod was 6'3", 215. You know what I'm saying?
That boy, side note, that boy yoked right now. I'm on TikTok.
Still, to this day.
I'm going, you know what I'm saying? My wife, show you know how your wife be like, hey, look at these TikTok. So, not knowing who he is, I seen he said, oh, he did a post, Rod Gardner. I'm like, I know Rod Gardner. So I did a Google. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that you said it. I did a little research. I'm like, wait, draft the first round, but yeah, go ahead, dog. But yeah. Hey, that boy yoked right now, so I can only imagine how that boy was back then.
Yoked up. But it was a different environment, man, because for one, you know, when you're in high school, we paying coach for socks. You know what I'm saying? You want to get a new pair of socks, you pay $1. Yeah. You know, you want a new mouthpiece, you pay $1. And just the fact of working in the equipment room, they go out, they catch a ball in the jugs, and they get a rip. They come in after practice, turn them in, get a brand new pair.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And we getting tapped in with gear. You know, Fonz and his team made sure we was decked out all the time as equipment guys. But the players were doing the same thing. Going to the weight room, shirt, the neck droop down on the cotton shirt. They bring it in, turn it in. Yeah. All we gonna do is throw it in the trash. But it was just the accountability and, you know, the things that they implemented there to make us say, okay, all right, this is what we got going on. Okay, bet. So it opened my eyes tremendously, man, and it was totally a different vibe. So, you know, getting through training camp and just developing relationships with the players, man, and it just continued to grow, right?
Yeah.
It continued to grow, and then we get, fortunately, my freshman year, we had like our first 2 or 3 games were at home. You know what I mean? So now it's like you go from playing high school ball, you may have 5,000-6,000 in the stands. You know what I mean? So I walk into Death Valley for our first home game, and it's 82, and they rocking.
Rocking. Hey, I cried. Literally, I cried. I was so emotional when we played Clemson. I was so emotional. I'm like, where that crowd? It was louder than LSU.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I literally shed tears from the emotion. Like, yeah, let go, bro. And that joint was live. I thought the hill was a little bigger on TV. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that joint was live though, bro.
Yeah. And it's different when you're on the field compared to in the stands. Because I had been to games before, and just sitting in the stands, you feel the electricity, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's sitting down, you're standing up the whole time. You know, everybody screaming, Tiger Rag playing on touchdowns and all of that. But when you get on that grass, man, and you turn around and you just look behind you and you look across the field and you see all the 4 corners filled, and the west end zone didn't look nothing like it looked now, but it was just some regular bleachers over there. They filled, and you know, people screaming, and the guys get on the bus and ride around the corner, get up, come down the hill, man. I'm like, the environment was like, wow. You know what I mean?
Hey, now it definitely was surreal, man, for real, man. And man, that I can attest to that. That was once in a lifetime type environment, man.
Yeah.
Because I don't think no other stadium I had been to, opposing stadium, where I was like that emotional based off the crowd. You know what I mean? Just got ready to play. And man, so definitely. So when I think about this, man, like anytime I have a guest on, every week I tackle a topic, well, by myself or you know, I have a guest, and I try to make sure to get the topic aligns with the guest. Like when I hit you up and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about this topic, and so the topic we tackling today is be well rounded, right? Because throughout your history, man, like when I look, Mississippi Valley State, Tennessee State, Morgan State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, MTSU, TSU, like, and serving in, you know, equipment operations, equipment manager, assistant AD, football operations. When you think about the different locations you've been, the different roles, I'm like, bro, I'm like, oh, Troy, you know, got to be well rounded in so many different areas. And I'm watching you on Why Not Us, right? ESPN Plus. Y'all got to go check that out. The behind the scenes with FAMU. I'm watching you, man. You got to go get popsicles. You got to go keep them boy cool. So like when I say be well rounded, why do you believe it's so important to be well rounded in the career field that you are in? Like being able to do different jobs, even if that's not the job you want at the end of the day.
I mean, it's simple, JK. Like you never know in athletics which way you're gonna get pulled. Like you never know. It could be whatever needs to happen at that particular time. It may need to be all hands on deck. So in order to be able to, you know, surround yourself with people that do different jobs, but be also a sponge in the same breath to soak up what they're doing to put that in your toolbox is I mean, it goes without saying, right?
Yeah.
So I'll use an example, man. when we were at middle, I'm just talking about middle, right? When we were
Yeah.
at middle, we had Matuzik and Andy Vaughn. Them boys worked in the ops on the ops side, right?
Yeah.
Well, Matuzik would leave on Thursday to go advance. So he would go, to wherever we were traveling. He would take care of the hotels, make sure everything was straight. Get rental cars for us and for Robbie and JoJo and them boys in the training room, and do all of that. But what happens is somebody has to pick up some of the slack that Matuzik leaves when he's gone, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Andy would do a lot of work to make sure we got on the plane, everybody got seated. But now Andy's doing that. Somebody got to help Andy do the stuff that he was getting ready to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. For sure.
So Andy would kind of lean on me a little bit, say, "Hey man, I need your help with this, that, and the third." All right, cool. Not having no idea that 12, 13 years later, I'll be a DFO myself, right?
Yeah.
But just the ability to tap in with Andy, whether it was something small to make sure the food was on the plane before you boys got off the bus, right?
Yeah.
Just something small like that made it to where now I can put that in my toolbox. So when I get ready to do it on my end, I know what that looks like. I know what needs to be done, right? So I can kind of delegate those tasks to somebody else. So just being well-rounded, man, it goes without saying in athletics, because you're always going to do a job that you're hired to do, but you're always going to be called on to do other jobs that people may see a skill set that you have that you may fit, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's serving on a committee for a banquet or some type of event, whether that's helping run a camp or helping do some drills, whatever. It never goes without saying that you got to be willing and open to do whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that the job gets done, and it gets done in a way that's beneficial for not only the players, because that's the number one thing, right?
Yeah.
Got to make sure that you guys
take care of them.
But it also has to make sure that the coaching staff is not having to worry about those small things. And I think that's a major undertaking in itself, man. And so that's just been my mentality, man. It's just don't be a one-sided coin, man. You know what I'm saying? Be able to be flipped on either side, and be able to do a job that you aren't, quote unquote, hired to do. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure, man. And I think, man, so my young adults out there, and specific everybody, but specifically my young adults, because we, especially my Gen X, millennials, you go in like, hey, now y'all hired me to do this. But if we go in with that mentality, there's no wasted day. So whatever somebody asks you to do that day, this is just something I'm adding to my toolbox, because I don't know what position I might be in down the road.
Never know.
And like you said, like me looking at you, I'm like, all right, Troy helping Andy out. You know what I'm saying? Troy doing this, Troy making sure we good, room checks, we ordered food there, we got to. But all that is preparing you years later to be, running things at FAMU, man. And I just want people in general, man, especially my young adults, to really understand the power of that, man. It's being, like you said, being open to do things outside of your job description. And like you said, a lot of times people see things in you that you don't even see in yourself.
Exactly.
So, like, okay, you in that role, all right, you running equipment, but I could see you also running, football operations. So let me give you this task and equip me, man. So that's definitely, dope with that, man. And what would you say is, being in the different stops, the different roles, what would you say is the biggest lesson you think you learned thus far, like in your career? And I know it's probably a whole bunch of that you apply every day. What you think is one that you like, or a word of advice or a lesson you take, and it's just a constant reminder, like, hey, I got to remember this,
Yeah. It's a few, man. It's a few that stick out. One is a lesson, I learned at MT from Coach Heron, Coach Les.
Okay. Coach Heron. Hey.
Coach Les didn't say a whole lot. He just kind of, he was another one of them smooth characters that.
Yeah, he was. He had swag too.
But he was assistant head coach, and a lot of times when Stock wanted to be the bad cop, he didn't. He let Coach Les be the bad cop, especially when it came to us as staff members, right?
Yeah.
So one day we, me and Big Will, we was getting out of staff meeting, and every day after we staff, they watch special teams. So Coach Les didn't have a special team responsibility, so he would go to his office and wait for offense defense meeting. So one day he said, "Hey, y'all boys, come here, let me talk to you." And I think Big Will was thinking about searching for a job or something, because we wasn't really getting paid a whole lot back then at Middle, man.
Yeah.
I think me and Big Will were the first full-time equipment and video guys in the school history, right? Everybody else had been GAs and all of that.
That's legendary right now, bro.
Yeah, and so Coach Les was like, "I know y'all boys young. I know y'all ain't making a whole lot of money." He said, "But you got to find you a horse, and you got to ride your horse until that horse don't either want you to ride or you find a better horse to ride." He said, "Now, that may not mean nothing to y'all right now. Y'all may don't even know what I'm talking about." He said, "But later on in life, you're going to realize what it is that I'm saying." And honestly, I didn't. I kind of understood it, but I really didn't, right? And so after a while, I kind of tapped into what he was saying. Like, find somebody that cares for you, that's going to take care of you, make sure you're good, and you stick with that person as long as you can. And when you outgrow that, it's probably time for you to get another horse anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you probably weigh too much. That horse getting old, he can't carry you, you know, whatever. And so to break it down in layman's terms, man, work for people that you genuinely love working for. You know what I mean? Go to work and enjoy getting up to go to work. Like you gotta get up in the morning and you gotta fight yourself to go to work and figure out, redefine your why every day and all of that. That's probably not the right space for you, and that can go above work, right? That can go into relationships, that can go into your spiritual life, whatever it is that you're dealing with. When you wake up and that's wrestling heavy on your heart, like, man, I don't know what this, I don't know today. It's time for you to check out. You know what I mean? Because mentally you're already gone.
Yeah, you're already gone. The body just still there, but mentally,
mentally you're gone. So Coach Les, man, that was a one that really sticks with me. And he also told us too, he said, be loyal to the paycheck. I was like, Coach, what you mean? He said, you graduated from Clemson. Big Will graduated from Benedict in Columbia. He said, yeah, you loyal to your alma mater. You want to see your alma mater do great things. But your alma mater ain't paying you right now.
Yeah, that's
Middle
real.
Tennessee is. So everything you do should be in the best interest of Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Whether that's, you know what I'm saying, when you doing your commentary with sports networks, whether you doing your speaking engagements right now when I'm at FAMU, you gotta be loyal to who's paying the bills.
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't hard until I got married. I got married. We start off working at the same school, right?
Yeah.
And then boom, I get the opportunity to go be assistant AD at Jackson State.
Yeah.
And Jackson in the SWAC, Mississippi Valley in the SWAC. My wife, the head basketball coach at Valley, but I work at Jackson.
Yeah.
So,
let's go, Jackson State. Hey.
What I'm gonna do, right?
Yeah, the house divided. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta be loyal to who's paying the bills, man. Yeah. A lot of times we root for our favorite teams and we root for our favorite athletes, but when you work in this space, you gotta be loyal to the people that you wear on your chest, because there's gonna come a time where right now it's not the case, because we are FCS school, Clemson is the FBS school, so unless we playing them in a guarantee game, we're not gonna cross paths, right?
Yeah.
But when I was at Middle, like you said earlier, we opened up the season at Clemson.
At Clemson, yeah.
So I can't walk around beating my chest like, hey, let's go Tigers.
Yeah.
When I'm wearing this blue and white on my chest and
that paycheck.
You know what I'm saying? So he told us that early on, man, and it stuck with me throughout my career. Like you can't get caught up on certain things, man. You just gotta be locked in on who's paying the bills. Be loyal to them.
Yeah.
And then when they kick you off to the curb or you decide to go someplace else, then you can choose whether you're loyal to them or not. Like I still follow MT. I try to watch as many games as I can, right? Because I love stock, and Larry's there and all those guys. BB's still there, and all the guys that we grew up, that I grew up with professionally. Those guys still there. But at the end of the day, man, you got to be loyal to where you are. And Coach Simmons says it best. Like, we've kind of changed it now where we are, but it's be where your feet are. You know,
Yeah,
it's just that simple. You got to be where your feet are. And
yeah.
as long as you are where your feet are, everything else take care of itself.
Now that's real. I think Donald said the same thing. So that message that Coach Simmons is the fact that Donald said it last week. You came and said it. So definitely so real, man. 'Cause so many times we either want something more than what we are, or we reminiscing on how it used to be. So our minds is either too far ahead or too far back, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
appreciating where we are, man. And man, so I know I had this question in there, but you mentioned it. So your wife, right? How was that, man? She head coach of Mississippi Valley State at the time, right? And you, so y'all both the athletics. Like,
Yep.
how do y'all make that work? Like, and I know I think you last time or when we talked, she was on the way to FAM,
Yep.
made it to FAM. But like, how do y'all make that work with y'all careers, your marriage, and with family, kids, all that? How y'all make that work, man?
Man, it's tough. And I'm not even gonna sit here and try to sugarcoat it, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's not for the faint at heart. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to be willing to sacrifice. You know, and I know a lot of times people say, marriage is about compromise and sacrifice and all that type of stuff. But when you're in a situation like we're in, where both of us, live, breathe, eat, sleep athletics
Yeah.
on the college level,
Yeah.
it really is. It can't be any truer, right?
Yeah.
You got to be willing to sacrifice. Somebody is going to be in a situation that's not great, right? And we knew that when we really started to date heavy and started having conversations about marriage and all that type of stuff. We said somebody's going to have to give up something. And we don't know when that day is going to come, but somebody's
Yeah.
going to have to give up something if we want to continue to be under the same roof, right?
Yeah.
And so for probably the first year and a half of our marriage, I worked at MVSU, and she was there, so I got to travel with her to her games and watch all of her games, and she was there for football with us, and all of that type stuff. And then I leave and I go down the road to Jackson State. Yeah, it's an hour and a half down the road, right? But I didn't drive it every day. Like, some days I stayed in Jackson, some days I came home, and it was you hit a spurt there where you got a game, and with me being internal operations, I was doing more than equipment, right?
Yeah.
I'm
You running, you got to keep the thing running, recruiting.
I'm doing
all
game
that. Yeah, ain't no off
management.
season.
I'm game management for Olympic sports. I'm doing facility stuff to help my supervisor. So I'm doing a lot of stuff. So I remember real, to this day, like, it's still sitting at the forefront of my mind. There was a stretch in 19. We played a game in Houston at Prairie View on a Thursday. So of course we fly out on Wednesday. We get back. We got a volleyball roundup, a SWAC roundup, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I think we had another road game like that next Saturday. So what seemed like a month, but it was like 8-9 days. I'm not home at all.
Yeah.
Right. And wasn't gonna go home. And she called, was like, "Hey, you remember you got a wife at home, right?" And I was like, "Hey, yeah, you right. Like, you know what? I'm on. As soon as I'm on the way. As soon as we get out of practice, and I had to entrust my GA at football to just kind of handle the equipment room, because I was like, "Yo, I got to go home and see my wife. Like, it's been way too long." So it's a big compromise, dog. You definitely gotta compromise. You gotta be able to have candid conversations. All of those conversations ain't gonna always go over well. Somebody's not going like what the other one has to say, and a lot of times that's truth. And that's why you don't like it, because it's truth. But married now 4 years, man, and it's been a blessing all in itself, man, because I was fortunate enough to marry someone. The gift and the curse is she does work in college athletics, right? So the fact that we may not have all the time and everything that every other married couple has. But the one thing we do have is understanding, because she understands
Yeah.
that life, you know. And so
Likewise.
we don't have to go back and forth about, you know, the days when I end up staying in the office till 8:30. You know what I'm saying? And she got to eat dinner by herself, or you know, when I got to get up at 5:30 or 5 to make it to that 6 o'clock mat drill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to move through the room quietly so she don't wake up. And,
Waking
you know,
up,
all of that.
hey.
Yeah. You gotta.
Yeah.
You know, it's an understanding that goes into that, man. So I'm appreciative of her.
Nah, man, for sure, man. And I salute y'all to that, man, because, you know, marriage in general, man, is tough, man. You know, it's a job, right?
Yeah.
So, like you say, you taking two people with their own individual thinking, mindset, personality, character, interests, and you forming and becoming one, man. So that's the process every day to become more and more one. So I salute y'all, man, and I know it ain't easy, man. That, you know, that long distance, though, it ain't no joke. You know, I know man, Brittany, we was long distance for some, you know, some years as well, man. Playing ball all over, and that's what, when you talk about, you know, the sacrifice. My last year, she wanted me to go back and play. She was like, "Look, 'cause I didn't held out in the arena league, bro." My homeboy like, "But you the only dude I know held out." Hey, I didn't held out in the arena league, bro.
You had to get that money right, dog. They had to come right.
Hold out, bro. You know, it was a principle too, bro. I had no kid. I was like, look, I told Brittany, I said, look. I said, I got to make this decision for you, because I want you to know I'm not going to accept being, you know, anything I feel like less than a work. And I was like, and our future kids, I want them to know, bro, if they trying to, you know, if you feel like you, hey, bro, make that decision. So, yeah, I held out, bro. But after that season, she was like, nah, go back, play the last year of your contract. But once the league, like, folded, bro, I started, like, really, I was already thinking, I was like, man, she's sacrificing too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's time for me to make this transition, man, and be in Tennessee, and you know what I'm saying, and we wanted to have kids and everything. So, you know, I understand those sacrifices. So salute to y'all. Congrats on that, man. Definitely. Now, I want to talk about, man, just the power of relationships a little bit more, man, before we get out of here, man. When you talk about Coach Simmons, man. Now, you working on a team. Now, anybody that know Coach Willie Simmons is the head coach at FAMU, right? So we know Troy is at FAMU with Coach Simmons. So you there working as an equipment manager, and they recruit Coach Simmons, he quarterback. How did this relationship begin, and how has it, you know, just went through the test of time to where y'all both working alongside each other right now, years later?
Man, you know, I tell people all the time, man. I started off, I shouldn't say we didn't like each other. I didn't like him, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't was because the starting quarterback at the time was a guy named Woodrow Dancer. And Woodrow is from Orangeburg. You know, we grew up together, and we felt Woody could do no wrong. Like, we felt Woody was a real life superhero, right?
A little biased, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, they signed this guy that's supposed to be the savior, shotgun, Willie Simmons, you know what I mean, all of this.
Shotgun
so when I got to school, everybody liked Willie. Like, everybody liked him. Like, you know, we call him Ray, but everybody loved Ray. Like, everybody kind of gravitated to him. You know, he was that locker room guy that everybody liked. You know, he always had a smile on his face. And he could really throw the football. He could swing it. But I was just like, nah, dog. Like, nah, you ain't about to take Woody's job. Like, nah. So I could not put myself to liking him. And then one day, we actually just spent some time together after practice, walking off the field. And kind of carried on a conversation. And he had a joke about Orangeburg and, you know, coach from Quincy. So Quincy ain't no bigger than my living room. So he always tried to talk, you know, about how the size of Orangeburg. And so we cracked a couple jokes. And, you know, that, like I said, that was in camp in late July, August, man. And we've been locked ever since. So that was one of the deciding factors, truth be told, for me coming to middle. Because when Coach got there, his first season was 2006, I think, right?
Yeah.
So his first season was in 2006. He called me then to come and be the equipment guy. And I turned him down. I was like, Coach, I can't do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, the job wasn't full-time yet. I was full-time at South Carolina State.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, nah, I can't do it. So the guy he hired ended up leaving shortly after the season in 06. And, you know, by the time it's 2007, and he came back to get me again. And so he brought me up on an interview this time, quote unquote interview, uh, and we just kind of hung out and chilled. And so he told me, he said, "Man, I just hired Willie, man. So y'all boys can live together until y'all get on your feet and get situated, whatever." So hadn't talked to Willie in probably 2 years or so because he left and went to the Citadel to finish his career. And then after I graduated, I moved back to Orangeburg and started, coaching high school ball or whatever. And then I got the job at South Carolina State. And so I called him and I was like, "Yo, man, what's going on, man?" And, we kind of chopped it up. And, coaches change. Assistant coaches, when they become head coaches, they become different people. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one thing I asked him, how was coach? Was Stock still Stock? And he was like, "Yeah, man, Stock ain't changed. Like, he the same guy that recruited us. He the same guy that we would go in his office and, play music and make CDs when burning CDs was in."
Man, Coach had y'all burning CDs, man.
Yeah, man, we burning CDs in Stock office, man. We doing it all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna text him about that jump, bro. Hey.
Yeah. We end up getting it. We getting it. So, but nah, man, me and Coach, man, we, like I said, we've been friends from college, and we lived together for those 6 to 8 months in Murfreesboro, and we did just about everything together, man.
Yeah.
We ate together. We would go hang out in Nashville together. We downtown Murfreesboro at Bluesboro kicking it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I definitely see y'all kicking it, bro.
Yeah, we doing all that.
It's crazy, man, being an adult now. Because, like, we kids, so we looking at adults. But y'all boys only, you know what I'm saying? I think, well, Coach Simmons, he ain't 48, is
he? Yeah. Coach 42.
42. All right, yeah. So y'all were boy like 9, because y'all were like 9, 8 years older than us. So at that time, it's like, all right. But it's like, man, just to see y'all in y'all young adulthood and finding y'all groove in y'all careers and see where y'all at now, man, it's a great thing to see, man. It's definitely I would say a great thing to see though, man. And I guess, man, just because I like I say, man, I try to target the young adults, man. What advice would you have, man, for a young adult who is in a pickle, like as far as careers, right? And they want the career, they have a specific job they want in a particular career field, right? But another job is open, not the one that they want, but the other job. Like, what advice would you give to them in making that decision? In other words, choosing something that you really don't want to do at that specific moment.
Man, and that's a good question, JK, because it happens a lot, right? And I just had a conversation with a gentleman yesterday, matter of fact, about this same topic. And the one thing I can say is you have to be willing to, and I don't want to get biblical and all of that, but you got to be able to walk through the forest before you can get, on the other side of the trees, right? And everything don't happen right off. I tell anybody that I talk to, I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I've never been an assistant equipment guy, assistant DFO, assistant anything, right? I've always been blessed to run my own shop. I tell anybody that I'm fortunate enough to be one of those guys, right? Shout out to Charlene Johnson and Buddy Pugh, who hired me at South Carolina State, and then Coach Stock, and then everybody else along the way that has brought me along. But you got to be willing to grind it out. You got to be willing to grind it out. Puffy just received the Lifetime Achievement Award the other night on the BET Awards, right? Mm. But he didn't start off as the head of Bad Boy, right? He had to work A&R for Uptown and beg people to let him, throw parties or let him, come in and help with a track and all of that before he was able to reach his potential. I think a lot of times in today's society, man, it's a microwave generation because we can do everything like right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want, the other day, a classmate of mine is in Japan and sent them a message on Instant Messenger, and not knowing what time it was, I hit the button and asked Siri, "Hey Siri, what's the time in Japan?" You know what I'm saying? And Siri told me right now. So I think because of that, people look at their job careers the same way. Like it's a right now, I got to get it right now, you know?
Yeah.
And they see all of the millions that's being made out here by different people, and they see LeBron hit $1 billion, and you know, they see these people that they idolize and they look up to making this quick money, and they hitting real hard to the fact that they think like, man, this is really the way that it's supposed to be, and it's not.
Yeah.
That ain't reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got to work to get to where they are. And,
that's that.
You know, even though I was a Division I equipment guy at 25, JK, honestly, dog, I'm making more money at an HBCU than I did at Middle Tennessee. But if I would have just gave up on the dream or gave up on the career because the money wasn't what I thought it should be or what some of my colleagues were making, man, no telling where I'll be, right? Yeah. But we gotta get out of the mindset of this microwave society, man. Just wanting it right now. Everything gotta be instant. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like to buy instant grits, man, because I like to take the time to cook it and stir it and watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, for real. Quick question. You missing grits? You eat fish and grits? What you eat? Fish and grits?
No, about to eat fish and grits right now as soon as we get off here.
Okay, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you know, I got to Tennessee. They started talking about fish and spaghetti. I say, hold on. I say spaghetti is its own meal. I say, you know what I'm saying? I say when my parents say, hey, we got spaghetti tonight, that was it. We got meatballs, that's the meat and the spaghetti. I get up here, they got fish and spaghetti. Nah, I eat it now, you know what I'm saying? But I still eat grits too.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I told Britt, I said, how y'all really from the South and y'all don't eat grits? You know, South Florida, we the fake South, and we eat grits. You know what I'm saying? So, look at Larry. Hey, look, he like, chill. Hey, you probably got him some spaghetti.
Mr. 10 right here he gonna chime in. Nah, it's crazy you say that. You must have got some cameras in the house, man, because I came home and I asked the wife, yo, what we eating? Like, she was like, I was thinking about fish and grits. Say no more.
Hey, fish and grits is the Friday meal, though, bro. Hey, it is a weekend. Let's segue you right into the weekend.
Segue right into Friday, right?
Hey, for real, man. Nah, most definitely, though, man. And so, hey, before I let you, you know what I'm saying, leave with closing words, man, I do give my guests the opportunity, man, to ask me one question. And, you know, it could be about what we're talking about. It could be about anything, man. But I give my guests one question. So I've been interviewing you the whole show. So I throw it right back on you, man. And so, man, feel free, man. Ask away.
Man, it's funny, man, because me and D. Reed was just talking about this the other day when he was getting ready to come on. I gotta ask you this, man.
Yeah.
When you was playing for us at Middle, dog, you would always pray before each play, right? In between the play, and for y'all that understand football but may not just understand football, the safety is the quarterback of the secondary. So the safety is making all the calls, all the checks, and everything. So JK was the guy. He was the quarterback. You know, he was the over the top guy. KB was the physical one. He was gonna come down and get in the box and help him run support and all that. But JK was gonna be over the top. He had to make the calls. But a lot of times between Suba and Rod and all them boys, they fussing at JK because they can't get the call because JK is praying.
I'm talking to God.
My question to you
Call
is,
God.
the question is, what was your mindset, dog? Like what made you say to yourself, like, man, I'm gonna just give reverence to God in between each play, man, every time I step out on this field?
Man, hey, great question, man. Hey, so I had to learn, man, because it's like when I look back on it, the way I was or the way I am, but in that and doing that, right, it's like it was a good thing, but it wasn't a good thing, right? Because as I like realized as I got older, right, I look back and I realized I had OCD, right? So it was a point of like my spiritual relationship with God. I'm like, God, you know what I'm saying? I'm praying over myself, like, God, man, thank you for a great, healthy series. I'm praying series by series.
Yeah.
Like, God, thank you for a great, healthy series, man. Hey, thank you for the da-da-da. Hey, I pray that we go out and get a stop XYZ. And so the more I kept doing that, and this what when I was on the sideline, man, in practice, the whole first team went in. I'm still underneath praying. Hey, I missed the whole rep. They let me Jeremy get in. And that's when, I realized, like, dog, what I'm doing is interfering. God don't want us to be serving him in such a way that it is interfering with a job that's like a firefighter in the middle of praying, they stop and they praying while the house on fire. Like, that ain't, what I'm saying? God ain't on that. So I had to realize in my own walk with God, like, okay, Jeremy, one, like, stop being OCD, bro. Like, you prayed one time, I heard you. You could pray for the whole game. Before the game, you ain't gotta pray, play by play. You feel me? And so that was kind of my mindset. I was one, giving reference to God because I know I need that protection out there. And then a lot of it, was OCD, man. Because even when I started training for my pro day, my trainer was saying the same thing. And he asked my pastor, like, Jeremy prays before every rep. Like, what's, and, So now, man, being more spiritually mature and mature just as a person, man, and to realize, like, dang, like, what's OCD? Like, bro, chill out, the door locked. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean? Stuff like that. Or like, man, I don't got to keep repeating myself. Like, God heard me, So that was something like really at the moment, like as a little kid, like I would repeat myself or I do something, and it was battle with perfectionism too. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of emotional stuff that back then we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about OCD. We ain't talking about these anxiety, different things that we was going through. So it was a lot of that going on, bro. But hey, looking back, bro, I was tripping, bro. Not tripping from praying. But I was tripping from praying that much, bro. And Coach, what Coach Bobby said, nah, nobody can get to God because you got the line tied up. I'm like, all right, Coach, hey, I said, Coach, I got you, bro. So, hey, but yeah, bro, that was my thinking, man. But when I say that, it was good because I was never perfect. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it kept me. From my relationship with God, kept me from making a lot of decisions that I'm glad I didn't make in college. And that I don't, as a 33-year-old man, I don't have to kind of live through or try to correct those things so it was like, it was a good thing that I was doing that, but I was tripping at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I cost us no touchdown on praying before, but
I don't think you gave up.
Yeah, but I showed up just rep in practice though, still praying though. But hey, that was a good question though, dog. And I appreciate that. Nah, most definitely, man. And I got somebody else said, Coach is saying you pray like that, you think it prevented you going as far as the next level? Nah, as far as the next level, bro. I mean, Troy could give his. I would like to give his. I let him give his opinion on it. But as far as me going to the next level, I think it was more of my size. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point in time, think about the safeties that came out that year. I think the year before, you had Cam Chancellor, you had Eric Berry, you had Major Wright, you had Taylor Mays. Like them boys, not Earl Thomas like 5'11", Major like 6 foot, but they were going for more bigger type safety. You know what I'm saying? Earl Thomas was a smaller safety, but the Tyrann Matthews and the what the DB is from the Cardinals, those smaller DBs, they just started coming in 5-6 years ago. So them, I had a scout told me, he was like, man, you got great film. I remember on pro, they got great film. And then I remember my agent telling me, it's like, but they don't know if you're big enough to play safety in the league, and they don't know that if you fast enough to play corner. And I feel like what I did in the arena league was I was able to show them, I'm quick enough to play corner. That's how you play in the arena league. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but nah, I don't think me praying stopped me. But you could give your take, man, on what you think might have helped me back.
I don't think the scouts or coaches on the next level shy away from people that demonstrate their faith, right? You think back, Tim Tebow probably was one of the most well-known athletes that always talked about his faith and wasn't afraid to share, even in interviews and in-game, post-game, weekly interviews, whatever. So I don't think they shied away from it at all because of that.
And I think, like, to your point, like, even Tebow made it popular to put the scripture. You know what I'm saying? So we started
Exactly.
writing stuff on the I black. You know, we put like our area code on there, 954. So, but yeah, though, man. But that was a great question, though, dog. Appreciate you for real.
Yeah,
And
man.
so, man, I want to end the show one asking you, man, what would be your dream job? And then I want you to go into just sharing your, you know what I'm saying, final words, man, of encouragement or what you want to, whatever you want to share. Letting people know where they can follow you. You can give them, you know what I'm saying, tell them about, what you got coming up or the season. I know y'all got a big game, two big games, North Carolina, then y'all play, you know what I'm saying, Jackson State. But, man, let me know what your future, your dream goal, I should say, or a dream job, a job you would just like to have. And then, words of encouragement, man, for those that's listening, man.
Man, JK, honestly, I never really look at jobs as a dream job, right? I look at jobs more as an opportunity to continue to grow who I am, continue to grow my my personal brand. There's some places that I wouldn't mind working. Of course, I would love to go back home. I love to go back to Clemson at some point in time in my career if the Lord say the same and be able to work there. That would be amazing. My wife is from Bryan, College Station in Texas, so being able to go to Texas A&M and be around her family, that would be something. At one point in time, I told myself I wanted to be an AD. And over the last few years, man, seeing the things that ADs have to, do, I don't know whether the older I get, whether I'm really, really able to turn that switch on and off like that. I've become kind of angry man 2.0 in my older
Yeah. I got you.
Coach we joke about it all the time, and he always says I'm the fun police. Like I come in and take all the fun out of stuff, right? So I don't know whether I could play the game well enough to be an AD now, but if that ever came to light, being an AD, I would say going back to Orangeburg and being an AD at South Carolina State would really just bring my career full circle, because that was the first full-time job that I had out of college, and if that's my last one, in my career before I retire, it would make it, it would make the circle complete. But
the full circle.
There's no dream jobs. There's just a couple dream places, that I would
like mind. That. I like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind working at. Yeah.
Gotcha, man. And any words of encouragement, man, or a message, man, you want to give to the young adults out there, man?
Man, I would say to your audience, man, just do not, and I'm trying to think of the right word to say, do not shy away from relationships. Like relationships, and we've talked about it throughout the show. Relationships have made me who I am. It has put me on a level playing field that I'm on right now. Relationships have helped me to develop lifelong friends. It has helped me develop nieces and nephews, and help my son to develop uncles and aunts, and mentors and big brothers for me, and all of that. So don't underestimate the power of relationships. I think the moment that you realize that a simple relationship can go a long way and can last a lifetime, the more you'll be willing to tap into that. So to the younger generation, and to your listeners out there, man, don't underestimate the value of relationship. And then, like I tell myself every day, if you follow me on Twitter at LaTroy_Johnson, you'll see it in my tweets. I post it on Instagram from time to time, but it's just be great on purpose. And that's my hashtag. That's what I kind of put behind all my tweets and everything's hashtag BGOP. Just be great on purpose. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that you do not take it for granted. Don't think it happens by osmosis. Wake up every day and say, man, I'm gonna go be great. I'm gonna go get it done. Whatever that is, right? Whether that's cutting the grass on a Saturday, whether it's taking the wife's car to get a car wash, You know, whether it's just recording, you know, something at one of your, I see little JK out there playing soccer and running around
Yeah.
doing great. You know what I mean? If it's just recording that so y'all can go back and watch it later on, man, just always wake up in the morning and tell yourself, man, I'm going to go be great. I'm going to do it on purpose. It ain't going to be on accident.
Man, hey, it's crazy, bro, because I end every show with wake up, strive to win on purpose, and be intentional about winning. That's the two things I say at the end.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what you're saying, bro. Exactly, man. Be great on purpose, win on the same thing. Like, be intentional about in every area of your life what you're trying to do. Like, yeah, we can pray for things, but faith without works is dead. We got to go and be intentional about those things, man. And hey, salute to what you said about relationships, man. The reason why you on this show is through the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
You know
and
what I mean?
know you got a busy day, so I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I know this
man,
is some
we
of
can
the
go on, man. I'm locked in, man. The fish ain't get hot.
Hey, that's all I'm about to say. I don't want the fish to get cold.
Good. You know what I mean?
I
think she just dropped the first piece in there, so we got at least about 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure, man. Were you there? Let me ask you that. Were you there when so you know the movie Safety, right? The Disney movie Safety. Were you there during that time, or that was a little after?
Nah, that was after me. Yeah, I was gone by that time when Ray came through there.
Yeah. And that's a dope movie. I showed it to my class, bro. I showed it from the angle of because we do like a section on drugs. I teach lifetime wellness, and so I let them know, like, bruh, addiction don't just impact you; it impact everybody, and just showing how you know his life and you know what I'm saying, the little Faye life, you know what I'm saying, the little bro, big bro, everybody's life was impacted, man. So showing, but that movie is awesome, man. That was a good football movie.
It is, man. You teaching classes, dog. I know when Coach was on the last time, he talked about you coming down to the classes, in Miami and tapping in Orlando, whichever one it is.
Hold on, wait. What did he say? Miami? I don't know if y'all been talking. Hey, let me know.
He said one of them. I can't remember which one it was. It was Orlando and Miami, one of them, dog. So we gotta get that done.
Man, I'm trying to get. You might got to put a little birdie in this ear. So I was supposed to come down. I never been to the Florida Classic, right? So like how you was, opposite how I grew up. I wasn't entrenched. You know what I'm saying? Even becoming the bros and stuff, I didn't grow up seeing that. You know what I'm saying? So having Twan and KB be my roommates, see them boys go through that inspired. You know what I'm saying? Got me to really think. But yeah, so he was like, he gonna bring me down. He was like, I'm gonna get you with Troy. Come on, man. My son that woke up. He was like, I'm gonna get you. He was like, I'm gonna get you with Troy. We're gonna get you right. So then I said, I was blessed. I got a football game. I'm calling. Come on, man. Come on. I'm calling the football game on MTSU.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, I ain't gonna be able to make the that game, the classic. So I was like, Coach, like what they do, like I know y'all about to play Jackson State. I'm like, let me come through. You feel me? Cause I mean, shoot, me and the fam, we go down, we go down there, see the fam, do a double dip, and then come through. You know what I'm saying? Holla at the team, and then you know get blessed to come to the game and all that. But hey, you might gotta put a little birdie in there for that though, bro.
I got you. Know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely gonna plug in on that. And what I say for real is, so that game we spend a couple days in Miami, you know, in the Miami Fort Lauderdale area. And so our team chaplain, you know, those boys they work real jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times when we go ahead of a normal Friday trip, play on Saturday, come back, they can't really travel with us because they got jobs. You know what I'm saying? They got jobs. So a lot of times, man, Coach will end up doing chapel himself, or he'll mess around and con me into doing it. He did that one time.
Hey, preach that word, Troy.
Yeah, man. He came. One of the chaplains, man. He had some sickness in the family, and he wasn't able to make it. It was a home game, and so we finished up all the stuff, and the guys were going back to the room to chill out before the game, for pregame. And I was like, yo, bro, we ain't got nobody to do chapel. And he was finishing up his script, and he kind of looked up and was like, yeah, we do. Like, you got it. I like, dog, for real? You want me to do it? Like, He was like, yeah, dog, just knock it out. And I did it, and I became the back. I became the relief. The relief.
Hey, you the pastor that sit in the back. Hey, you sit on the left side or the right side of the pastor. They tap you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, your turn. Get up there, dog.
Yeah, you got it, dog. Go ahead and handle it.
Hey, nah, but yeah, hey, nah, for real though, man. Just you know what I'm saying, son, you know, if that come available, man, because you know, I know that's something me and my wife we was you know, looking into. Was like, man, if you able to do that, then we go down there, make it a little trip. Cause I went an anniversary on the 5th, you feel me? So we got married on the same weekend as my in-laws. So I'm like, how did I let you trick me to be getting married on the same weekend that your parents did? 33 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so we don't never get after our first anniversary, we don't get the 5th no more. You get what I'm saying? We got to do like the week after. So I understand, I respect it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, hey, just keep me posted. And, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all keep me posted and we'll look at, you know, how we get down there. And, man, I'd love to come talk to the team. I was also going to check y'all schedule, even if I couldn't do that, to try to see, you know, how close y'all get here. You know what I'm saying, to Nashville, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, hey,
not
either way
this
though,
year,
man, I gotta get down there, fool with y'all though.
Definitely next year, we go to Huntsville, which is
okay then.
You know,
what
right
that's
down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Right
So what you I'm gonna let you in with this though. What y'all feeling like, you know what I'm saying, with I mean, going to the playoffs last year, having a great year. And you know, y'all kicking the season off like North Carolina, Jackson State. Man, just like what would you say y'all expectations and you know, just going into the season, man, this season?
Man, you know, the crazy thing is, JK, the standard is the standard, right? We don't change, you know, we don't change the standard. I think if you ask anybody in our program, they'll say the same thing. I think we all speak the same language. But at the end of the day, man, the standard is excellence, right? And that's what we want to get to excellence by chasing perfection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what we tell the guys.
Like that.
That's what we tell the guys all the time. You know, so try to end every day being perfect. You know, be perfect today. You know, and we know we're gonna fall short because we human, right? But at the end of the day, if we chasing it, we eventually get to excellence. And the standard is the standard. We're not gonna lower our standard to meet yours. You gotta raise yours to meet us. And if we're able to do that, I think all things considered, man, we'll be where we need to be in, you know, late November, December. And I think, man, with what we got, with the talent that we got, you know, the defense that we're bringing back, I can see us playing in Atlanta in December for, you know, playing for it all. It's definitely we losing a bunch of pieces, right? We're losing a bunch of pieces. I see my boy Marquise just tapped in, man.
I just seen him. Salute to you too, bro. Hey, congrats. Wish you the best on your NFL career, dog. I know I don't know you, but I heard a lot about you, Donna. That boy Donna hit me up last year. I said, boy, JK. He said, bro, we got a dog. He was like, hey, boy, Marquise Bell. He was like, bro, I'm telling you, he a dog. So when I watched the Why Not Us, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, that boy can move. That boy got size. I'm like,
everything.
I said, yeah. And I talked to Coach Simmons. I was like, nah. Yeah, I said, nah. He the real deal, man. So definitely, man. Yeah. So okay, then, man. Hey, y'all gotta. I ain't never been a fan of you, but you know, I rock with y'all, so I'm a fan of you, fan. Rudy, I tell her Brittany, she was like, how all of them get a fan of you? I was like, it's like a mini MT. I'm like, hey, connections. You know what I'm saying?
Connections, man. Relationships and connections, dog. Relationships.
Yeah. Hey. Nah, for real, man. But yeah, though, man, Troy, dog, I just want to say, man, thank you so much. I know this been a long time coming. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I appreciate you.
On there, I
appreciate you, no doubt, man, for getting me on, man.
Hey, nah, no problem. I had to bring you on, man. I knew that, you know, just from your journey, from the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? And so getting you on the show, I get to get the behind the scenes and see what makes you tick and just that mindset and that mentality that you have, man. And I knew that your story would not only bless me, but the people that listen, man, and you know, especially with making different career choices and being willing to get up and move, make sacrifices, you know. So I appreciate you, dog. Root to the good bros, for real.
And hey,
Man, I appreciate you. Hey, y'all. Hey, I appreciate those that got on, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jeremy Kellem. Subscribe to that so you can watch the podcast, get audio and video on YouTube. If you just want to listen, you might be driving. You get that on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Taco Thursday with JK Podcast. Y'all already on my IG, JK_impacts, man. So, hey, y'all continue to wake up, striving to win on purpose, be intentional about winning, and y'all have a blessed day. I'm going to holler at you, dog. Root to the good, bros.
Rude, dog.
All right, now.